We'll wait for everyone to get in here. Hey everyone, how you doing? I'll just wait for everyone to jump in here. I'm going to be probably keeping this live stream up as well on the channel. It's not going to be going private or going to be members only. What's up, everyone? We'll wait for chat to finish populating. Yeah, I saw the news last night about Hoonigan. It's probably I don't know. It looks like more of a business corporate move than anything else. It probably means nothing. Nova, wow. May's at home looking after Hugo. Unfortunately, he's a little sick right now. All right. So as you guys know, I always try to be as upfront and just real with you guys as possible. There's one thing about the channel that like I've been really, I guess something that like I've just really stuck to is making sure that I try to just be as upfront and as honest with you guys. I always tell you what's going on. I show you my mistakes and all of that type of stuff. And what I really wanted to do today was jump on here and do a video. You guys know we obviously didn't upload last night. And to be completely honest, for the last couple months, I have been probably feeling the most burnt out that I have ever felt. And it's not just because of like some particular one thing that's caused it. It's just a non-stop, I guess, barrage of things. So what I wanted to do was just kind of jump on here and let you guys know what's going on, my headspace, my thought process. Also, I'm hoping that it will encourage a lot of you guys that deal with the same stuff with ADHD and whatnot. But as you know, we have a ton of projects at the shop that are a constant reminder when I come to work that need to be done. And as someone with ADHD or anything like that, when you see that first thing in the morning, your brain starts going and thinking of all the thousands of things that need to be done on that car and how much time, how much money, how many parts you need and all that type of stuff all in one hit, right? So what I do is I try to systematically work on one thing at a time. But what ends up happening is something ends up happening, whether it's a part not rocking up on time, delays, finances, or some other kind of thing happens that takes my focus away from it, or I cannot physically work on it, away from that particular project, which then means that ends up sitting untouched while we then have to try and find something else. And right now, that would be fine. Like last year, that was fine. The year before that was fine. But right now, my job obviously is content creation on YouTube. And right now is the hardest it has ever been for anyone to be creating content on social media, especially YouTube. Right now, if someone told me that they wanted to be a YouTuber and they didn't already have a pre-existing audience to follow them over, I would say good luck. It is the hardest that it has ever been. to be a content creator on YouTube. I'm sure you've noticed, but pretty much every automotive creator has lost 20% of their average viewership. Minimum. At a bare minimum. You go look at people's content from 12 months ago, they're averaging, let's just say they're averaging 150K. They'll be lucky if they're averaging 90, 80K now. It's a huge, huge issue right now. It's not just like the audience is less interested. It's just that YouTube isn't doing what it used to do. The algorithm always changes, and that's okay. We've always learned and adapted to it. That's fine. I'm here for the long haul. I understand that. That's not an issue. I always made sure that, finance-wise, that we didn't just rely on AdSense income, which is okay. So we're good there. But what's the problem is that now more than ever, if you have an off day, it affects you drastically, and it will take you months to get back to where you were. And then with that constant thing that's happening on top of everything else that's going on, it's just this nonstop, I don't know if you'd call it like a mental game, but like it really is hard because you put in all this effort only to then be left disappointed at the end of it, if that makes sense. And it's like you can only do it so many times before you just want to give up, if that makes sense. It's really hard. It's really hard right now for anyone, especially new and upcoming channels. And there's a few, there's a few things that I could say that, hey, I think it's attributed to, YouTube a couple years ago pushing a ton of shorts, and that kind of set off the roller coaster downhill. They then realized halfway through then that shorts, there's no way to make money off shorts, like long term. If you just think about it from a quick perspective, whenever anyone gets stuck in their little rabbit hole of going through shorts, at the end of the 30 minutes to an hour that before you realize, oh crap, I've been sitting here for 30 minutes of an hour doing nothing but going through shorts. I need to put my phone away and go do something. Do you remember any of the, let's say you consumed 500 shorts. Do you remember any of those? No, you don't. It's all just this mush in your head that you just don't even remember. The only shorts that you'll ever remember are things that go crazy viral, like Hoktor Girl, like those kind of moments like that. That's it. The rest of it is just mush, and it doesn't ever stay with you. So there's no way to market that, and there's no way for YouTube to make money off that. So they split the algorithm in two. And I'm telling you stuff that I'm probably not supposed to tell you direct from my YouTube partner manager. They split the algorithm in two. There's an entirely separate algorithm for shorts now. And what's happening is their goal now is to use shorts as more of an advertisement to lead people consuming short content to long form content. So that's why now there's the click button and stuff that says, hey, this short is related to this long form video. I'm really sorry. I'm not paying attention to chat whatsoever right now. I'll do my best in a little bit. So that started this whole trend on YouTube where the algorithm, if you had any shorts, and we were all told to upload shorts, right? We all uploaded shorts. We did what YouTube told us to, and they said it like we had to do it if, we wanted to, keep our channel growing. And because it was like a big booming thing. But what happened is before they split the algorithm, if you were uploading shorts and you had a short do well, and I had a fair few shorts get a couple tens of millions of views, right? The algorithm then thought that that was your main audience because that's where the views came from that month. So if you had more views coming from shorts, then the algorithm would then just stop recommending your long form content. And that's when you start to see your channel starting to taper off. Then from there, after YouTube fixed it, split the algorithm and did all this stuff, you kind of started seeing viewership come back. But now the issue is AI has entered the scene. And AI, we thought spam channels was an issue before. But just about every informative YouTube channel right now, and these guys have somehow racked in tens of millions of subscribers and millions of views, it's all AI generated copied content. And it's so frustrating from a creative person to see these AI models that are literally stealing your content to learn from you, to learn and pick up patterns and everything to see how this creator created content that did well in that genre. and then write a script and everything, and automatically just voice over on some random ass content, a complete copy of your content, and then spam that a million different times across 1,000 different channels with different voices and all that type of stuff, the whole entire YouTube industry, like the whole entire YouTube like space, is full of that now. And it's so frustrating from a creator's perspective, because these AI models, the AI, model that is creating this content that's then being spammed everywhere, learnt what it is doing from you. The creators of it told the AI, hey, here's a list of YouTubers in this automotive category or in this category or in this genre. Watch all of their content, transcript it, and then copy and replicate it with a little bit of a difference. So it's just really, really frustrating, because now more than ever is this, I guess, industry completely like just flooded. Like it's well, like we thought it was saturated before, but it is so much more saturated now. And most of it isn't even a real person. And it's just someone getting a paycheck every month of copied content, essentially. And I don't think there's a way that YouTube can stop that from happening. It's insane. I don't know what to do. So there's that. And then on top of it, people these days just seem to think that no one's allowed to make mistakes. I don't know if it's just everyone's gotten soft or what's going on. They think that people aren't allowed to have an opinion. They think that people aren't allowed to think for themselves anymore. And it's really, really frustrating. It's really frustrating. I get blamed for things that I never even did. You go back a few years, people were putting pictures of things that I said that had to do with a merch drop and a brand thing that we were going to do with my chaser, and thought it was in relation to another YouTuber and his misfortune. And then I was forced by a sponsor to apologize for that, which then made the whole situation worse. And then from then, I've just been copying a barrage from that particular group of haters, if you want to call them. And every now and then, we've had people come to our shop, vandalize the front of our shop. I've had someone try to beat me up in person, spit on me twice in a public setting at Tokyo Auto Salon, which is all like, I have decided to not completely act or do any of this stuff on it, because it's just going to draw more attention to it. And it's just like, people, I don't understand. Like, how do you have such a parasocial relationship with someone that you've never met? I don't get that, to threaten me and my family. It's not okay. I have everything on video, and I have not gone to the police or done anything with it. But why? I don't get it. I don't know how anyone can have a parasocial relationship with someone just because of what they've read online or what they think has happened. It is not okay. So yeah, that's why I decided to jump here and go live. Because it is really hard sometimes to pick up the camera and put a face on and pretend like everything's okay when you're dealing with everything like this on the back end. Especially, being a father is new to me, and I've never dealt with these emotions before, where you want to protect what you have, and you're dealing with dickheads like that. And this is why I love the car community so much, but I also hate it because it is so toxic. How everyone can just jump on someone based on a rumor that's been spread around. Makes no sense. Anyways. Just give me a moment. I love cars. I love drifting. I love driving. I love the constant feeling of getting better at something, progression. I think that's one of the main reasons why we all do what we do, is to get better at something. And I found that in drifting. I kind of stumbled across it. I was kind of always interested in cars and stuff like that, definitely inspired by, the Fast and Furious films and things like that. But I'm someone that comes from, like, when I was brought up, my family is super conservative. I was brought up where I wasn't allowed to go hang out with friends or people from school because they weren't Christian, because they didn't go to church. They didn't go to our church because our church was the real church, the proper church, the only church that was teaching the right stuff. You know what I mean? So I missed out on a lot growing up, learning about a lot of stuff. I never got introduced into cars until very late, when I was, I guess, independent, had my license and started driving around and started getting into cars. So I didn't know a lot of the history about cars, and especially Japanese cars. I didn't know about what hot version was. I didn't know what option was. I didn't know what D1 was. I didn't know about any of that stuff. And when I finished school, the only class that I probably got straight A's in was my Japanese class, because I was just so intrigued by this Japanese culture in Japan. And what I did was I forgot about it. I went and worked at Domino's Pizza because I was earning money, and school didn't work for me. Obviously, ADHD, they were trying to cookie cut me like everyone else. The standard way of teaching never worked. And all my friends were 2 to 3 grades above me. So when they left school, I left school. When they graduated and left grade 12, I dropped out in grade 10. And I went and worked at Domino's Pizza. That's where my nickname SAMMIT comes from, because I had a name badge. At the age of 16, I was a manager. I wasn't legally allowed to be a manager, but they made me a manager, and it was kind of kept off the books. But I had a name badge, and it said Sam, and then there was a big space in MIT for manager in training when I was doing my training. And this old lady would always come into the shop, and she would be like, she'd read my name badge and call me SAMMIT. I don't know. She just couldn't see the space there. So that's where like the kind of joke came from, and it stuck. So did really, really well there. And then I ended up moving into IT. And then from IT, I got into some car stuff, tried starting a business with a friend. My best advice with you is don't go into business with a friend. It never ends well. I had different expectations. They had different expectations. I was misled. They were misled. And we ended up just splitting ways. So that kind of left a sour taste in my mouth with cars and things like that. But, these things happen. And then, I guess I moved to Japan because I started traveling there for snowboarding and the culture and the people and just having fun. Like, I came here and I just fell in love with the place. Everyone was so different. Everyone was so nice. Everyone was so understanding. And it was like I could hit, I don't know, it just felt like I fitted in more. And then that's when I remembered everything from school and how I did so well in Japanese classes. Because the second language they teach you in Australia, when I was going through school, was Japanese. So I decided I wanted to move here, right? And this was pretty much, I had kind of I was still on the end of wanting to get out of this business with this friend of mine at the time. And I just didn't really know what to do. And, it's one big issue is, because of everything I went through growing up, was I didn't really know how to deal with confrontation and all that type of stuff, and social anxiety and things like that. So I really struggle socially. I have a very small social battery, and 90% of the time I have no idea what to do when I'm standing around in a group of friends and my brain is thinking of 1,000 different other things in the conversation that's happening in that moment. So that aside, I moved here, made a bunch of friends and stuff like that. And I had decided I was moving here, found a place to live, figured out what I was doing for work. And then when I think it was the day before I left to go back to Australia to get my stuff in order to sell everything and leave, was when I met May. And it was like the cherry on top. But at that point, I didn't actually know that anything was happening there, and that, she was going to obviously become my wife and mother to my son and stuff. So From there, me and May just kind of kept staying in contact. She was after some advice for some live streaming stuff. As you guys know, I've got a background in IT and live streaming broadcast stuff. So from there, I guess I moved over. Me and May obviously hit it off, and within a year, you know, we had been dating and we got married. So a lot of people think that I moved here because I married May, but I actually had decided and had everything in order and stuff sorted out to move here before I actually met her. Also, people keep thinking she's Okachan's daughter. She's not. I don't know why everyone thinks that. Okachan comes after I met May and had been here for actually like 1 or 2 years. So yeah, moved to Japan and kind of just started living for myself for the first time ever. Left the parents' house and stuff like that. My parents were incredible. They did the best job that they could and how they taught were. So, you know, I have no bad feelings whatsoever to them, and I love them very much. I still talk to them all the time and stuff like that. You know, different generation, different world that they were brought in. They did the best job that they could, right? But yeah, it's been a roller coaster, man. Like when I first came here, I was so excited about just Japan and culture and everything, and so much happened. And when I first started making content, I go back and I watch some of those videos sometimes, and it's so just like, what happened? How excited I was, everything that was going on, like how I felt about everything. And like, I know there's like a honeymoon period, right, when you experience something new. But I don't know, especially when I started getting into cars heavily and Okachan took me under his wing and I got a car and started drifting and everything, like just that excitement that I initially had. Sometimes I wonder if it's gone. But then all my hard work pays off and we get a nice milestone at something, you know, and you can really see the progression. Like that's something I've always loved doing, is just always showing you guys my progression and just seeing the difference of, you know, what I'm driving like now compared to what I drive like before is just so real. I haven't even like, I don't know. Anyways, I guess what I'm trying to say is I look back at some of the stuff that's happened and I look back at how I used to be and I look back at now and I feel like I'm different and I don't get as excited over things anymore because of the fear of dealing with backlash or dealing with what, you know, that group of people that have it out for me are gonna try and do, what they're going to physically do. You know, we keep our shop location here on Google Maps. It's open to the public. People can come to the merchandise store. They can buy merch. If we're not busy, they get given a free tour inside the shop to look at the builds and stuff like that. But people come here and think that they can vandalize stuff. People approach me at car meets and think that they can start something. It's just like, it's not okay. And I don't want to have to deal with lawyers and police and all that. I don't have time for that. I don't want to deal with that. I could. If you're a foreigner and you visit Japan and you do anything to a Japanese business, they'll put you, like they'll easily put you in for 30 days without any questions asked, just to hold you, to mess with you. Japan is not a place you want to F around and find out with that kind of stuff. But it's not worth it, because then that's just going to make me ultimately look bad. I don't want to do that. But then I have employees, I have staff, I have a wife, I have a child. I have all of that to protect. So if you want to find out, I guess this is me telling you you will. I'm not going anywhere. I'm in here for the long haul. I'm not done. I just need some time to recharge. But I just wanted to jump on here and let you know where I'm at. Everything will still be operating as it should. I'm hoping to have an upload out in the next couple of days or so, while I kind of reevaluate a few things and get some security stuff sorted out. But I'll have an update for you guys at some point soon. Everything's operating as it should with the online store, with the Garrett month of Garrett and everything that's going on. Appreciate you guys who are a part of that. You can look at it. Just go to SAMMIT.net. All the information's there if you want to do anything. I don't want to turn this into a promotion thing. But yeah, I don't know. I hope you guys can relate. I hope this encourages you in some way. Times always get tough, but don't give up, all right? Cool. Awesome. All right. Goku said to never give up. Amen, brother. That was one of my favorite animes growing up. The first anime I ever watched was Sailor Moon and then Dragon Ball Z. Cheese TV, baby. Can't stop, won't stop. Yeah. I just wanted to jump on here and be real with you guys. Let you know where I'm at. All right, guys. I'm going to jump off here. I'm going to get to work. But thank you very much for your time. And I will see you all in the next one. He said, son, when you grow up, would you be the savior of the broken?